Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe. Got another mountain bike in the garage this week, kids mountain bike this time. And if you are a parent of a junior mountain biker out there and you are trying to bike on a budget, I got some information and some thoughts that hopefully you will find very helpful, so stay tuned. If you saw my review of the Common Sol 16-inch mountain bike a few videos ago, I talked real briefly about my thoughts about getting your kids involved and excited about mountain biking, giving them the best leg up you can with the best equipment that you can for the money. In Iowa, we don't have mountains, as you might have already guessed, so we do a lot of XC trail type riding, and I thoroughly enjoy that, and I try to get my kids to enjoy that as well. They love biking. They love biking around the neighborhood, and they will give in to their old man every once in a while and go on a trail ride, and I think for the most part they enjoy it. That being said, I've tried to give them, again, the best advantage that I could with a little bit of time, a little bit of money, and a lot of scouring the internet. I think probably the worst thing I could do is set them on a junk bike, mountain bike from Walmart, and expect them to keep up with me on the trails while I'm on my transition enduro bike and expect them to enjoy it. Also, that being said, if you are a parent and you're trying to get your kids interested in biking and mountain biking, and that is what you can afford, more power to you to just get them on a bike outside. And maybe some of this information will help you, again, to take that next step and get them something that will make it an even more enjoyable experience for hopefully not a lot of money. Now, as a dad of girls, finding intermediate size mountain bikes for girls has been a challenge here, where mountain biking is not super popular and the market is not flooded with stuff in my price range. Used things. Sure, I can get on Trek's website or Specialized website or whatever and order a brand new extra small bike that would be great for them, but I don't have what, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to do that. So what we have ended up with, and both of my daughters have been through this bike and it has been absolutely fantastic for them. They have loved it. It has served its purpose above and beyond, really. This is a Trek Pre-Caliber. It's a 24-inch wheel. My daughters did go from 20-inch to 24. My oldest is on 26-inch now. I'm not the tallest person. My wife's not the tallest person. I have petite, short girls. So this is what we have. And again, like I said, finding a girl's bike, i.e. a color that they liked, girl dads, you know what I'm talking about. You know that's a real thing. Proved difficult. So what I did find was this Trek boys bike. It's early 2000s, I believe. It is a nice semi-gloss, dark metallic gray color. Underneath the teal and gold graphics is actually navy blue graphics. Of course, we just went to Hobby Lobby, picked out some vinyl colors that they liked. I threw some stuff together on the Cricut, and I re-vinyled it for them, and they're super happy. I've got some purple pedals, some purple grips on it for my youngest daughter who's riding it now. So they were happy with how it looked. I was happy with how it performed. If you notice the frame shape on this, it is not unlike new hardtails that we've been riding. Relatively aggressive styling where the top tube goes straight into the seat stay. This originally came with a Trek, I think it was a 40 or 60 mil double spring fork that was already an 1.1 straight steer tube, which is great. Has a regular stem and bars. They are the smaller, was it 25.4 diameter bars, but having all of that headset and everything set up made it easier for me to swap out the fork. I tried to service the Trek fork. It's got plastic insides and it was done. It was old. It had seen its day and been useful, and it was past that. So took to Pink Bike. I picked up this 24-inch RST Kappa fork. I believe this is an 80 mil travel fork. It was pretty sad. It had been spray painted a bunch of times, but they said it still functioned great, and I have to tell you, this is a really buttery smooth fork. I don't know how old this fork is or how many hours or how many miles is on this fork, but it's just spring, so it can be serviced. RST still makes a version of this fork, so I would imagine you could still get parts for it. Repainted, re-graphics. It was set up, this bike was originally set up with V-brakes, all Shimano parts, by the way, which is great. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this fork could also run disc brakes. So I had a bunch of mechanical disc brake parts laying around. I ordered a wheel from Bike In, which seems to be a good website. I ordered some tires and stuff from there too. No problems. Is this the world's strongest wheel where they're gonna be hitting big jumps and drops and stuff? No, but my girls aren't gonna be doing that anyway. And we'll touch on more of that with some more of the parts. But again, it has made riding the bike way more enjoyable, because that was one of the things that they both had said to me, like, Dad, the shock doesn't work. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it right now. So I finally got this fork, got it on there, set up with disc brakes. Do they need disc brakes? No, but it's cool. They're easier to service, in my opinion. They're more reliable, and they're on there. Originally came with 3x7 full Shimano setup with grip shift. I'm sorry, but the 90s called. They want their grip shifts back. Do not give your kids a bike with grip shifts, because they are awful. They're not user-friendly. They do not get serviced. They don't service well. When you can buy a trigger shifter, Shimano trigger shifter from AliExpress, which, by the way, as far as I can tell, is a real Shimano shifter, for like $9, please convert your kid's bike to trigger shifters. Convert it to a 1x setup. Now, you're probably saying, Joe, 1x with a 7-speed in the rear is not enough. But you have to think physics and everything. This is a small tire. We are on relatively flat trails here in Iowa. I think what I still am going to do is get this is a freewheel hub, which I found out are really easy to service and grease and keep going. You can get wide range 7-speed, so you can get a bigger, like 36, 38, 40 tooth low end gear, and then go with the 32 or 30 tooth chain ring in the front, combined with the smaller tires. That is going to give your kid all of the climbing that they need in a Midwest type environment. You guys out west, I'm sorry. On the mountains is you're probably going to have to find something else, but I'm sure that you can come up with something. It is 135 mil width, so that's pretty standard for a long time. So I'm sure you've got options, especially if you want to relace a wheel. You could go 10-speed. You could go wide range 10-speed, and it would still fit in here, and that would be awesome. AliExpress, cranks, pedals, grips, shifter, bash guard, chain ring. Are AliExpress parts for someone like me and you? Maybe not. Going to see a little bit more abuse, going to see a lot more weight thrown at those parts. But for a little kid doing XC riding, as far as I'm concerned, fits the ticket. If you've got a preteen that is a little bit more exuberant and more adventurous on the stuff that they're hitting, maybe not. So I've got, these are 52 mil cranks, which is what it was on before. It was a 3x, but it was a riveted system, so it just had to go away. 104 millimeter chain ring bolt center to center, which is the standard on pretty much all bikes that run bolt-on chain rings. And the bash guard is not going to serve any purpose for bashing anything, but if you got a little kid whose standover is not super wide and they give themselves a greasy bike chain tattoo on their calf every single time that they ride it, the chain ring bash guard does just the trick to protect them from that. I do need to change the bottom bracket. She rode a season with it. It's a little bit too wide. Only dropped the chain a couple times, and I think a lot of that was just chain bounce because there's no spring tension or clutch on the derailleur. So I think I'm going to swap that out for a skinnier bottom bracket, which is like $10. It's not a big deal. And probably by the end of this next summer, I'll be selling this bike, so I want it to be good to go for whoever is going to get it next. Another little mod I've got, she's getting a little bit bigger, where a little bit wider set of bars would suit. These are like, I don't know, 520. They're pretty narrow bars. And I just picked up another bike that I'm going to be doing a project on that, when it was new, was a pretty high-end bike, spec'd with these Easton bars, which I think are like a 620. Still the 25 mil skinny bar diameter. So I'm going to swap those out for her and give her a little bit wider bars. And stuff like this just makes me happy, putting like Easton bars on a little kid's bike. Whatever. Mixed with the AliExpress parts, of course. But so that pretty much lays everything out. Like I said, if you are strapped for budget, or if you have kids that it's hard to find either a bike size or color that they like, or if you live somewhere where there is not a used market for stuff in that middle ground, keep your eyes open for things like this. A little bit of time, a little bit of money, some research, and you can really get a fantastic bike going for your kid that will give them the best advantage, the best chance at enjoying the sport. My kids were on 20-inch Nishiki mountain bikes before they moved up to this one, and honestly, I can't say enough about those bikes. They may have been pretty heavy, but they rode the heck out of those bikes on the trails, and they did really good. But both of my girls, when they switched to this, toting it around the neighborhood or whatever, they both said, "This bike is so light, I can't believe it." So that's been awesome. Geometry I didn't mention. With the little bit longer fork, I did measure the head tube angle. Right now it's about 69 degrees, which I think is awesome for a kid's bike and what it is used for here. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think I'll be putting it up for sale probably towards the end of the summer. I think she'll be outgrowing it by then. And I would imagine I'll be able to recoup all, if not, well, close to all of the money that I've invested into it, and give somebody else's kid a really good bike to ride into the future. So if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, check out my back catalog of videos, DIY mountain biking stuff, DIY off-roading stuff. If you are a parent and you've got mountain biking tips and tricks, comments, questions down below for the rest of us to get in on, or more in-depth stuff, please feel free to email me anytime at hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com. So this video was supposed to be the finishing up of that blue FS Elite elevated chainstay bike, but as you can see, things have not been going extremely well there. I've decided that I'm going to put that bike together and sell it, because I put it together 90% and I realized that I thought it was a really cool bike. So I want to just make sure that everything is as good as it can be for the most part before I go to sell it. And there were some things I just wasn't happy with. So hopefully within the next couple weeks I'll get some more parts and we'll get that put together, and you'll be able to see the finished product on that. So until the next video drops, thanks for watching, take care, goodbye.